Nald, Shotts, Wishaw, Bells Hill, Kilsyth, Motherwell, Coatbridge, Moodiesburn, etc., then People Plus can help you. People Plus are running the North Lanarkshire Working for Families program. At People Plus, we have brilliant employment and self-employment opportunities for parents who live in North Lanarkshire. On the Working for Families program, we support parents who live in North Lanarkshire by preparing you for employment or assisting you in starting successful self-employment. We have various accredited training courses that we can fund and put you through, and this will certainly help you in your employment journey. If you've been toying with the idea of starting a business, we'll be happy to help you start up. If you already have a business you've started, we'll be very happy to help you with funding, advice, etc. We're flexible and we will work around your schedules, as being a parent takes priority, of course. If you like a full-time or part-time job, some training, a placement, etc., we can support you, prepare you, help with your CV needs, interview prep, training needs, and job opportunities. So how do we help you with self-employment, you ask? Well, you get a dedicated and experienced business advisor to support you with a range of self-employment topics, such as marketing and pricing, business research, market research, access and finance, bookkeeping and accounting, HMRC and company registration, tax and VAT, sourcing suppliers, expert advice on efficiently reporting your earnings to HMRC, establishing or diversifying your customer base, and access to other support networks. We also help with employability by giving you a dedicated key worker who will support you and guide you through the process of finding suitable work, help with training and accreditation, customized support to suit your needs, support to write or upgrade your CV, expert advice and techniques for interviews, including mock interviews, assistance with job applications, and help with job searches. Eligibility to join the program. You must be a parent and you must live in North Lanarkshire. Just contact BB McKinley at email scotland.ef@peopleplus.co.uk. That's scotland.ef@peopleplus.co.uk, or call the number 07814 061 565. That is call or text 07814 061 565. Contact us today and we'll be happy to support you into work or self-employment.
Established in 2006 as one of Glasgow's original mobile massage therapists, we deliver high-quality treatments with the ambition to forge permanent relations with clientele. We specialise in on-site massage, a type of treatment that has been specifically designed to complement the convenience and availability of massage at work. It is performed with the use of a specialist mobile chair, without the use of oils or the need to remove clothing. At Massage and Glow, we believe that massage should be a part of your everyday lifestyle. Regular massage not only relieves stress and tension, but also stimulates blood circulation, can help with pain management, and promotes good mental health. A must for your busy schedule. Various holistic therapies available. Contact us now on 07530 905 152 for your mobile massage therapist.
Need security? Call Alpha One Plus Limited, a strategic security resourcing platform that connects you with licensed security personnel. We cater for our clients' security needs, from manned guarding, door supervision, event security, all the way up to close personal protection. Alpha One Plus Limited, your one-stop security solution. Call now at 44-074 2526 7909 or send us an email on info@alphaoneplus.com.
On your mobile phone and on all social media platforms. Jambo Radio.
Hello and welcome to TouchPoint with Tayo on Jambo Radio, the show where everything matters. Live from the center of Glasgow. And I am your host, Tayo Oweye. On TouchPoint, we deal with issues, vital issues that concerns Africans and Africans in diaspora. We educate minds, and we also touch on trendy issues. Today on TouchPoint, we're looking at dynamics of parenting and mental health. so many things. We talked about parenting 2 weeks ago, and it was a topic that we cannot just sidetrack. And today, I have my guest in the house, and one of the parents coming back today to expand more on the issue of parenting and mental health. I have with me, joining me live in our Jambo Radio studio here in the heart of Glasgow, Omotoke Buluro, a lawyer, mental health advocate, and a digital creator. Welcome to TouchPoint.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming back. Really, really thank you for honoring our invitation. I know you're so busy, but I'm so glad that you're around today.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. And to our audience, listeners today, as usual, you can join the conversation on every of our social media platform. If you are watching live or you want to watch live on YouTube, you can just go to Jambo Radio Scotland, and you can also watch live on Facebook. All you need to do is just type Jambo Radio altogether and Scotland with it, and you will be live watching it on Facebook. And you can also send us message and comments via those platforms. On Twitter, which is now X, we are on at jamboradio.scot. On Instagram, we are on at jamboradio.scotland. And in case you are using our app and you want to mail us via email, you can at info@jamboradio.co.uk. Send us your comments, send us your questions. We are here to deal with those questions. We are still on the issue of dynamics of parenting, tackling the issue of mental health today. But before we go on, there were so many questions arising from the last episode concerning dynamics of parenting. I will quickly just deal with some of those questions before we delve into the issue of dynamics of parenting and mental health. You were here 2 weeks ago with Mr. Olaiton Ladipo, and we discussed extensively about parenting, dynamics of parenting, and so many issues were raised and so many questions. We received quite a number of questions. I just want us to just touch base on those questions before we delve into the issue of mental health today. One of the questions talked about, in fact, a professor called me and we talked for an hour discussing about the concept of training and raising. What would you like to say? Is it to train or to raise a child?
Well, there's been argument that it's a matter of nomenclature, choice of word. That's what it's been, whether you're raising, whether you're training. But what I would say is you're supposed to train a child in the way it should go. While training your child, don't neglect to nurture their emotional well-being. When you train a child, you're intentional about building specific traits, skills. You're trying to set them up to excel at every facet of life in whatever circumstance they find themselves. However, while you're at it, you are not living out their emotional state. You're navigating, you're guiding them. You can decide to raise a child without training them. If everything you are doing is just to what they want, how do they feel, their emotional state. But that is not how to train a child, because children will be children. They need guidance, they need instruction, they need direction. That is why I would say you train a child, because when you train a child and you're an intentional parent, then you would no doubt not neglect the emotional well-being. But you can decide to just say, I want to raise my child. You want to make them happy all of the time. That's not how it works. So that is my understanding of training a child as against just raising a child.
So in a way, both goes hand in hand.
When you train.
Yeah. You train and you raise.
Yes. But you can choose to, whatever the child wants, all of the emotions, without helping them navigate how to handle difficult emotions, circumstances in life, because really we need to train our child. Life is not fair.
Yeah.
Bad things happen to good people. These are serious issues, but they are true.
Yeah.
So, but you can't just make the child feel, oh, the world it's a goody place. That's not life. So we need to train our child, because then in training you are intentional about setting them up to tackle life at whatever state it is that they are dealing with it, while putting in their emotions into it, as opposed to just raising them
without the emotion.
As just raising them. Like it's all about their emotions, what they feel. If they don't want it, you can't allow a child. Sometimes you let them learn through experience, but there are some things they need to be protected from. They won't like it now, but later they thank you because they are able to, in retrospect, they can see what you've done for them. Okay,
so in a way, training and raising goes hand in hand. They go hand in hand, but you have to be intentional about training.
Yes.
And you don't just raise a child. Is it also in terms of linguistic matter? I mean, I could remember then in terms of the indigenous language of training that says to, so you don't. To is to train.
To train.
It's not to raise.
Yes.
So it may be different from one culture to the other.
Probably. But to, by our own, the standard, for example, I follow, you follow, it means to train. Because then it encompasses
both raising
and training them, because you're intentional about the things you expose them to. You're intentional about skills, modeling behavior, and all of those things. Children would generally will have their emotions, all over the place.
So in a way, it's training and also encompasses leading.
Yes.
So if I look at that word, to is sono.
Exactly.
So it's like point the person to the way.
In the way they should go.
They should go.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think that has been settled. Someone made mention about being involved in a research on native intelligence, indigenous languages, models of intelligence in the 21st century parenting. What would you say the role of parenting is in terms of the intelligence of a child?
Our children have their innate behaviors. However, the kind of parenting style you choose would decide how eventually they are. Whether you're going to bring out their brilliant, their intelligent, innate nature, or you're going to, by the approach, make them lose their confidence so that they don't even believe in themselves, because that is where it starts from. So when you adapt the parenting style that works, it brings out the potential in your child. And more so, talking about native intelligence, there's a lot. Every child have the capacity, but the ability is left to be built.
Okay.
Your approach is what eventually gives that child the ability to be everything they have. So potential is not enough. That is where your style, your training, the kind of model you use as a parent will determine whether your child would be able to achieve the full potential.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll go straight to the issue of I'll mix this one together in terms of the styles of parenting, and are these parenting styles effective in one context or one culture to the other? And can you just, in a way, touch point on authoritative, defining what we mean by authoritative parenting? I mean, what are those styles, and are those styles effective in one particular context and not effective in another context?
It's not contextual. When you are an authoritarian, you are a commander, obedience. Because children are people with full emotions, that's putting them in a very tough spot. That kind of approach that is being authoritarian is vindictive in nature. You have to do this or else. So it's punishment, and I do it all. And while that may work for some children, that will not work for every child. Because the nature of your child would determine how they would accept this kind of parenting style. Most adults now grew up with parents that they could not talk to because they were authoritarian. They grew up full of wounds, emotional traumas, because somebody was not listening to them. And that is what an authoritarian will do. So this is not a contextual issue. It's while you think some parents think, oh, that's how I was raised and it worked. So you think. But looking back now, you're needing therapy. You are determining that I will not do this to my child. There's a lot of issues there. As opposed to being authoritative. An authoritative parent, though it's the same high-level demanding structure as authoritarian, but is open to negotiation. Listens to the child, as opposed to you have to do this or else this. The authoritative parents will invite them to a table, give them options. Let's negotiate as necessary.
Teaching them the power of choice.
You understand? Give them the power of choice. So I wouldn't say it's contextual. And we need to understand the demand of the time that we are in. That kind of style, authoritarian style, doesn't work anymore. That's the truth. Because awareness is high, development is high, social media is there. It's so difficult to have, if you look at the rule of oppression, it would be to take away the power of knowledge.
Yeah.
It makes people subjective, easily abused. But that's not there anymore. Yeah. Knowledge is everywhere. That's why you see that there is parenting for some people becomes stressful. Okay. You understand?
Okay.
So that's I'll stop there for now.
Okay. So just two more questions, and just I want you to just be straight and just go on this. There was a question about when do you start teaching your child about finances? When do you start setting them up for saving?
Immediately they are able to understand. And that is way early now than it was before. So for me, and I'm not an authority on it, I would say from the age of 8. For me, from the age of 8, teaching them to save. Just open a piggy somewhere. Or even earlier than that. There is nothing we do. And it's easier when we even catch them young.
Yeah.
Opening an account, a savings account for your children from birth, of course. But they do not know the importance or whatever. But once they are able to tell their left from their right, it may be earlier for some. Just know the kind of child you have and put the culture in them. Savings. And then as they grow, keep giving them age-appropriate here and there. Investment, yes, as they grow. So just know your child, look at their capability for understanding concepts and introduce them.
Thank you so much. If I think back, I know that there's some of our parents that started taking us to bank very early on in our lives, probably around 6 or stuff, and start contributing your money into that box. It was not big, but we had boxes then, And that was how we started saving. And from there, go straight to the bank. But lastly, what can parents do? Because the issue of language was quite touchy last time. What can parents do so that our indigenous language do not go into extinct? Especially parents who themselves are struggling with the language.
The fact is that what you don't have, you cannot give. That's the truth. However, for those who are able to speak their language, encourage bilingualism. Speak the language, your local language. Speak it. Practice your culture while learning the culture in your host country. The only way not to make a thing die, if you want something to keep growing, is just to keep doing it. There is no other way to it. So when you do this, it enriches their communication skills too, because they have the local language, they are speaking, they understand it. They have the language of the host country wherever they are. They are learning it too. Don't forget that at that stage, initially they would try to navigate. You don't understand. So while they are doing that, you ensure that their own indigenous language is something you always speak. And for everything good, it requires effort. Even if you've not been intentional about it, while maybe in your local community, here, then you have to be on top of your game and make sure you can just make it a value that when we are in this house, mostly we communicate in our indigenous language. Yes.
I think from all our discussion, parenting is intentional.
It is.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll now go straight to our topic for today, which is about dynamics of parenting and mental health. So, let's go on break before we go into that topic. So, listeners, stay tuned. We'll be going on a short break.
We cater for our clients' security needs, from manned guarding, door supervision, event security, all the way up to close personal protection. Alpha One Plus Limited, your one-stop security solution. Call now at 44-074-2526-7909 or send us an email on info@alpha1plus.com.
Established in 2006 as one of Glasgow's original mobile massage therapists, we deliver high-quality treatments with the ambition to forge permanent relations with clientele. We specialise in on-site massage, a type of treatment that has been specifically designed to complement the convenience and availability of massage at work. It is performed with the use of a specialist mobile chair, without the use of oils or the need to remove clothing. At Massage & Glow, we believe that massage should be a part of your everyday lifestyle. Regular massage not only relieves stress and tension, but also stimulates blood circulation, can help with pain management, and promotes good mental health. A must for your busy schedule. Various holistic therapies available. Contact us now on 07530 905 152 for your mobile massage therapist.
Across the World Wide Web on your mobile devices, on social media platforms. This is Jambo Radio! www.jamboradio.co.uk. We are multilingual. We are conversational in the languages you best understand. We are Jambo Radio! Jambo Radio, inspiring transformation.
Welcome back, and this is still a TouchPoint with Tayo on the Jambo Radio Scotland, live from the city of Glasgow. My guest is still with me in the studio. I have Omotoke Buluro Esquire, a lawyer, editor, creator, and also a mental health advocate. Yes, Toke, we are going on the issue of mental health. I want to read some statistics concerning mental health. And this was as far back as 2004. And it talks about US and Britain. But I mean, as sophisticated as they were at that time, it said at least 20%, in some cases up to 50% of adults known to have mental health or have had to go to mental health service providers have children. That means they are parents. 20%, up to 50%. That was huge as at 2004. We're not even talking about 2024. And estimates suggest that between 1/3 or 2/3 of children of parents known to these adult mental health services experience difficulties, dysfunction, or disorder. Is parenting that hard? If it is hard, what makes it hard? What can you say about parenting and mental health challenges? I mean, I've collapsed 3 questions into one. Yes. I mean, try to take them one after the other.
All right. So, parenting doesn't, on its own, cause mental health issues. However, if there's an underlying mental health issue, maybe someone who has been previously diagnosed of a mental health condition, there are a lot of them, then parenting would definitely exacerbate it. It will make it, heightened. However, parenting can cause stress. It can cause anxiety because of the demands attached to parenting. Number 1, sleep deprivation. Number 2, financial strain. And also social isolation. So it's not parenting on its own, but the demands of parenting. And also, when you don't manage your expectation well as a parent, or the parenting style you choose, which is not working, and which you have not assessed, because we should all be open to learning. But some persons are just uptight. They want to, this is their approach. They don't take assessment to see whether it works. Yes. So when you stick to something that is not working, or you're not managing your expectation well, this is what you expect from this child, this is what you expect from this child, and that's not how it works. All these things bring stress and anxiety. And that is why you find that research is telling us that the number of people visit. So it's not parenting. It's maybe previously a mental health issue, or you're not managing the challenges. You're not managing the demands of parenting very well. This is what puts people in situations where they're having mental health issues.
So being a parent is a thing of joy.
Yes.
It's not hard, but what makes it hard
is how we go about it. How we manage the demands attached to that office.
So what are the specific challenges that are associated with parenting and managing our mental health? Are there specific challenges that are so specific to new migrants or newly married people, and some are specific to some are also grandparents also living here.
Okay. So
what are the specific challenges?
Okay, so as far as the challenges are concerned, let me tackle the ones with the new migrants. So new migrants will normally face cultural imbalance because now you've migrated to, let's say you're in a host country. The culture is a little bit different from where you're coming from. They will have challenges that has to do with resilience. You were something before. You're in this place and you're experiencing some hardship as it should be because it's a new terrain for you. Learning how to navigate, modeling resilience would be something you have to do. And also on the issue of community, it feels like you're isolated. You've not seen your tribe. You're away from home. You've not met with other family members that are immigrants like you. It will be a challenge. Education. A few people had their share as far as education is concerned. Your child is maybe the way the educational structure is built in your
country.
In your home country is different from how it's built here, and then you're left with how to balance it. Now you are struggling with that, trying to grapple with what is this. Your child is asking you questions. Mommy, I was here before. Why am I here? So these are challenges that as immigrant parents, you are going to face. And these are normal at the beginning. As new parents, when parenting is like a journey, and for every journey, a wise person will seek to be equipped. You've checked how you will get to the place, the time it will take for you to get to the place, whether there are possible road closures. You have to be prepared for it. So if you go into parenting without being adequately prepared, now things are even easy now.
Are you sure that things are easy now?
In the sense that information is more. That's what I mean. And then, except you don't want to utilize available resources to you.
But we can also have information overload.
Yes, we can, but it's left to you to sieve and stick with what works. You don't have to. There are so many things. The good, the bad is out there. But you have to sieve. It means that you have to be diligent to do. Look, I'm not even saying that there are no children that would just be peculiar. That's not what we are saying. I'm saying to a level there should be preparedness. So, for example, as a new parent, you don't know who your child is. You are just doing that. This is how I was raised. Then you're going to do it. It won't work. For example, you have a strong-willed child. It's an old ball game on how to deal with them. Otherwise, you keep having power tussle with them. If you're not open to learning, you've not resourced, and you're not, intentional about it, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really tasking for you, because these children would test your emotional intelligence.
Does that entail spiritual aspect also?
Of course. You can't do it alone. Number one thing I know is that God is the author of these children. He is the one that gave, before they were born, he had written good things concerning them. And it will be wise to always go to the manufacturer of a product. And that is supposed to be the foundation. You understand? So you have to connect with children, know who they are, give them choices. Sometimes let them choose. Autonomy. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to what kind of approach are you using as a parent? Yes.
Okay, so someone is asking here, Fatoke Tai is asking, kudos to the speaker.
Thank you.
But also asking about safeguarding and intentional parenting. How is it possible for migrant parents to effectively ensure this? You want to safeguard but you also want to do intentional parenting. How do you balance the two?
So, intentionality would, and again, with all sense of responsibility, I'm not saying that it's easier said than done. But if you are willing, it is possible. So you're safeguarding your parenting. You are intentional. That takes care of it, the safeguarding aspect of it. The older our children grow, the children are easier to train while they are growing up. Of course, depending on the kind of child that they are. However, as they grow, and as youth also are open to learning in being intentional to raise these children, there is a time you will safeguard. There's a time you let go. There's a time you let them learn from their own mistake. There's a time you pull them back.
You're allowing me to understand that you hold on to this and don't let go of the other.
You're going to hold on to this and don't let go of the other. Sometimes, if you are dealing with a child that is tough, because some children are just tough, you discover that maybe you have such and such number of children. They are not all the same.
Yeah.
Their temperaments are different. Yeah. You're using the same parenting style for them, but they are going to turn out differently. But that's not how it should be. You should meet your child at the level they are at. So for immigrant parents, you should know that there are some things that will not work in your new system. Sometimes the law is there and a lot of other things.
I would like to ask, relating to parenting and children's stress.
Yeah.
Can children stress their parents?
Of course.
But how far? And what should parents do to such a child?
Okay. So, as parents, now, expectation management is key. If you do not model how to navigate some things, it won't be fair for you to demand it from that child. Now, what I'm saying is, know the child you've given birth to. Sometimes it's not because the children want to stress you. It's just because you're not connecting, depending on the kind of child they are. Some children are opinionated. They are defensive. Parents will wrongly take it as an affront to their own authority. But that's not what it is. It is just a part of who they are. But because we do not know that this is a child we are dealing with, or we do not know how to help them navigate their personality, then it looks like a power tussle. The stress is too much because you're trying to serve it to be for what works for that personality. Is not you're not utilizing the method that works on how to bring up that child. Some children are autonomous in nature. Some children have the personality of they don't want to be told what they should do. These are not affront to you directly. It's their nature. So if you think they are being confrontational, then you're always arguing. You're always saying, do this. That's not how it works. You see, there are some children you need to connect with them before you direct them. Some will seek from you explanation. And don't see that as, why do I have to explain myself to you? Or I'm your mother, or I do it because I say so. No. If you connect with them, sometimes you give instructions they don't understand. It doesn't mean that every time you shift. But if you empathize with them on the first level, and then you give them options, sometimes they are old enough to make some choices. It's not everything you have to dictate.
So what is that line to be drawn in order not to be too permissible and maintaining your balance between that authoritativeness and when you think, this child is stressing me, it becomes the issue of child, don't kill me. Don't kill it turns to child, don't kill yourself.
Okay.
When do you draw that line in terms of, this child is giving me?
So the first thing is study your child. Who is that child? What is the temperament of that child? If you know your child, it helps you utilize the method that works. If you have 2 children, for example, if you give a direction, one may just go and do it without asking you questions. But you have the child that will ask you why. Sometimes you need to explain. And one thing that works again for children is routine. Routine. And then be consistent. Define boundaries. Personally, it has worked for me. When I explain ahead, this is what we are going to be doing, the children are ready. You see these children that you say are tough. They feel kind of, they feel confident and comfortable when they see that, they can predict some certain things. They are comfortable in a level of, predictability. They just don't want a situation where they want, just tell them and guide them. This is the boundary. This is it. This is it. This is it. They understand it. So know your child so that you know what works, and then be open to learning. If you've been applying a method that doesn't work, be open to changing those methods. And let the conversation be open. Sometimes we underrate them. We feel they will not understand. Discuss it. And then, when you set boundaries, also be consistent. Consistency is key. So if you do this tomorrow and do this one tomorrow, you're not modeling, because these are the things we see in adults that we appreciate. You must have seen, that man is consistent. That man is reliable. These are the things our children have exhibited from young age that we see as affront.
One thing I also want to connect with the issue of mental health and parenting is the issue of comparing one child to the other.
Oh dear.
It just popped up in my head now.
So when we compare our children, we kill their self-confidence.
So does that also lead to some mental health issues?
It leads to a lot for the child, not for the parents now.
But at the end of the day, won't it come back to the parents?
Well, the damage is on the child. It is the child you're comparing that is at risk, not you. Eventually, it might come back to you if it has a lasting impact on the child and they are not achieving their full potential. Then they are not doing things that are making you feel, that's my child. That's when it comes back to you. But they suffer the trauma. If you hear adults speak now, what their parents did to them while they were growing up, what killed their self-worth and self-confidence, that many adults now have to go into therapy for, which is good. Awareness is good. At least they are not sitting down there and knowing they are carrying this trauma. So the danger of comparison, not just children, whoever, even as parents, comparing one spouse, look at such and such father or husband, he does this. There's a way you can drive home lessons without making the person feel less of themselves. So comparison just kills the child's confidence.
So in line with that, I know parents know their children, similarly know their children. Let me put it like that. How would you say to parents, especially young migrants around, on knowing your child? So
the more we spend, I know that the challenges are there. Financial constraints, everybody's chasing shifts. You want to go and work. But between you and your spouse, you have to balance time with the children. You can't know someone you don't spend time with. You can't know someone if you do not pay attention to how they react, their emotions. Some children their emotions can blow up in their faces. Some can be very calm, but they run deep. So just know your child by trying to connect with them on the level. Their responses to situation. Are you understanding them? So that as they grow, you know how to improvise, you know what level it is. So it's challenging for immigrant parents because it's a new place. They are trying to settle down. They have financial constraints. In fact, social isolation affects them. Your tribe is not there. You are not meeting people as much as you were meeting them back. That can tell on the adults. However, while you're trying to settle in by yourself, make time for these children so that you can connect with them on their level, because they also have questions. As new parents who are immigrants, you're having difficulty, they have their own share too. So find time, connect with them so that you can actually get to know them.
There are questions here. I mean, let me first read this comment. Olakunle Gumbaimaro says that we also need to consider the influence of social media on relationship between parents and children.
Valid.
Yeah, I mean, you can touch point on that. But Hyan asks, if we treat children as we would like them to be, is that what they will become?
Okay, not necessarily. So quickly, I'll talk about the influence of social media on relationship of father to children. There's a reason why the word train exists. So at a particular age, there are things your child should not be exposed to because they are still in their formative years. They are impressionable. They don't have the will yet, or it's not fully formed to say no to some things. So it all comes back to you as a parent. If you're just away, you're not there, you just give them gadgets because it keeps them busy. And then you can do whatever it is you want to do. Then that will be the impact. So it's garbage in, garbage out. Number 2, you will train a child. There is a reason why children have to go through families. But don't forget also that I said, know your child. A time will come, they'll begin to exhibit their innate nature. They display their natural talent. It's now left for you as a parent to see, oh, this is my child. And then you begin to guide them in that natural ability they are beginning to display. Don't also forget that some children are just peculiar. You know, I give the example of giving birth to so number of children and then they turn out differently.
Yeah.
Sometimes after you've done your best and you believe in God, you pray. You do your best and then you leave the rest. That's how it is.
Adesoji Olugbadebo is talking about the concept of marital schism. I mean, a state in which imbalance exists between couples. How do you think that also impacts on parenting when there is this gap between couples and their children are like?
Okay, so I would say that one thing migration does is the schism didn't just start when they migrated. It started before migration, and that is the truth everyone who is in this position must be willing to accept. Because if you don't know the foundation of a problem, it's difficult. You can't just be treating symptoms. You have to know the roots. So if you want things to work for your children, for as long as that marriage is not irreparable, for their sake, even if you don't have any other reason, for their sake, you have to come together, because actually it is quite challenging to raise children when couples do not have a united front. Daddy is saying something, mommy is saying something. Mommy is saying something, daddy feels that's not how it should go. And children have a way of one against the other. If daddy is presented as the hard one and difficult one, and once they see that loophole, they are going to take advantage of it. So unfortunately, it's so tough. It's better to raise a child for a child to be trained, to be nurtured by one parent, than two for daddy and mother and mommy who are not united, who are saying different things. It even confuses the child. So it's an unfortunate situation. But I'm saying, except the marriage is irreparable, is one genuine reason why both of you should put your house in order for the sake of your children.
On a funny level,
yes,
there is a statement, and it's also a scriptural one, that says that a good child is the father's beloved,
and the bad ones, the mothers.
What would you like to say to that? What the bad one is the mothers?
It's the society. Unfortunately, it's when a child is bad. Oh, look at your child. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Whereas parenting is a task for both the father and the mother. So when a child turns out bad, it's for the both of them, actually. And if the child turns good, it's for the both of them. So we'll just keep doing our best, be open to learning, let go of what doesn't work, bring in styles that work, and with God, they will turn out well. And they'll be able to excel in all levels of life, and in wherever circumstance they find themselves. One thing, however, is key. We as parents need to model resilience. Let them see how you are navigating new terrains, challenges, difficult parts, because they learn faster by what they see. So role modeling in the life of children it's quite key. Okay. Don't do something else and then you're telling them to do something. They are confused. They are confused. So your work will be easier if you do your role modeling and then you're telling them, you can compliment, you can see me, this is what I've done. It's easier for them.
So as we wrap up, let's talk about managing parenting, dynamics in parenting, and mental health. How can parents manage their stress while their children are seemingly stressing them?
Parents must ensure that they take care of themselves. It's really important. While you seek to give your children the best, take care of yourself. Rest when you should. Have alone time. Set that boundary and make sure you tell them this is it. When you are consistent about taking time off, don't wait until when you break down or when you're so stressed, you're out of control. So you must take rest. You must take your well-being very serious. Time alone. Community. Look for families of immigrants like yourself that on a parent-to-parent level, you can share notes. You can ask them how they're going. They can give you pointers. These were the things that helped. Oh, I had this information. This is it, and this is it. So your well-being must be taken seriously. Seek support. That is where the issue of community comes in. There are available resources. Find them out and use it. Once they are there for you, they are meant to be used. Utilize situations because, for example, you're an immigrant, you are facing financial stress. You know, there are some provisions that maybe you do not know. When you have community, you can find out this is it, and then you can utilize it. Then, lastly, professional help. If you have to seek professional help, don't say, I can't know. Just take the professional help because it will help you. These 3 ways, your well-being must be intact. Take rest, break, manage your resources very well, seek support, and then reach out for professional help if need be.
Thank you so much. As we just last pattern shot, something that you want parents to just hold on as we bring the show to a close today.
Okay, so I would say know your child, connect with them before you direct them, empathize with them, give them choices, and get feedback from them. Let them know that they matter. Once your child knows that they are important in the scheme of things, they won't take every direction as against them. And then lastly, avoid any kind of power tussle with your child, because no matter what your child is displaying, it's not about you, it's about them, and it's left for you as a parent to help them navigate their path.
You've heard it all. Know your child. Don't involve yourself with power tussle with your child. Help them to navigate the terrain. You have walked your path. It is for them to walk their path. All you need to do is lead them in that right path. Thank you so much, Toke, for coming today. It's been
pleasure.
A wonderful time, and talking about mental health and balancing parenting, dynamics of parenting with mental health issues today. Thank you so much. Thanks to all our listeners for staying tuned up to this moment. You've been so awesome and you've been so supportive. Thank you so much. And thanks to the TouchPoint team, my producers, Tosin Ogwade, T Crown, Dr. Baron, Simone, Dr. Mr. George Ta. Thank you so much for what you're doing for the show. Backroom family, thank you. My researchers, social media team, plenty of love to you guys. And that's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Until next week, remember that life's journey unfolds in a unique way. Run your own race to attract grace, because it is within the race that grace finds its own expression. Thank you so much. I've been your host, Tayo Oweye, and join me next week for another exciting and trendy issue. Until then, I wish you a happy night rest. Good night.
Across the World Wide Web, on your mobile devices, on social media platforms, this is Jambo Radio! www.jamboradio.co.uk. We are multilingual. We are conversational in the languages you best understand. We are Jambo Radio! Jambo Radio, inspiring.